Good evening. My name is Josh Bellman. I am the chairman of the Flatbush Jewish Community Coalition. Along with Kojo and Flatbush, we are the sponsoring organizations of tonight's mayoral forum. I would like to welcome the mayoral candidates who have joined us.
We read your emails, we heard your concerns, and it's no surprise that there's no topic that generates as much interest in this community as education and education funding. So we're going to start there. There are more than 70,000 children in yeshivas, in K-12 yeshivas and day schools in Brooklyn alone, 70,000. Well over 100,000 citywide. Despite the fact that about 20% of New York City's school children are enrolled in parochial schools, those school children get only about 1% of the school funding. Question for the candidates is, do you think that ratio is correct? And if not, what is the right balance? And what specific program can you tell us that you will implement to rectify the current imbalance? If we can start with Speaker Quinn.
Well, I think this will, okay, there we go. Well, Avi, thank you very much for being our moderator tonight. And I want to thank Josh and everyone at the Flatbush Jewish Community Council and everyone at Kojo as well for pulling tonight's event together. And most importantly, I want to thank everybody at Kojo and the other groups in this room for all of your service to this community and the city as a whole. Sandy is just one example, but one very strong example of how this city wouldn't have been able to survive through various challenging times without all of your help. So thank you so very, very much. You know, on the issue of education, let me first say that I've been proud over the past few years as Speaker to stand with my colleagues putting money back in for Priority 75 vouchers that have been taken out of the budget. We shouldn't be in the situation we're in with those vouchers, but this year again, we'll fight to keep those monies in the budget. Now, as it relates to vouchers overall for education, let me just say I believe obviously our primary role in government is public education. So vouchers for parochial education is not something I support. That said, there are areas where clearly the law requires us to be giving support to children who are in religious schools, whether that's books or security or in some cases technology. When I was chair of the health committee, there was a move on the part of the mayor's office, to take nurses out of parochial schools. We believe that was a clear misinterpretation of the law and would put the health of some children at risk, and we passed a law that requires the school has a nurse, regardless of if it is public or parochial. So I can't tell you the exact percentage, but I can tell you there are clearly areas, technology, books, transportation, healthcare, where we need to make sure we are doing what we can to get children the resources they need out there.
Thank you. I want to ask the candidates, I want to ask the audience to hold all applause and responses because in the interest of time, at the end of the night, we can show our appreciation or applause. Let's have the candidates get to the answers. Turning to our public advocate, Mr. de Blasio, 20% of the students, 1% of funding. Is that right? If not, how are you going to fix it?
Thank you, Avi. I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone from Kojo, Flatbush, Moshe Zachman, and Rabbi Pike, Leon Goldenberg, Avram Khan, everyone who makes that organization so great, and Josh Melman, Fjcc, for the advocacy you're providing for this community. So many friends here from Midwood, from Flatbush, Borough Park, Kensington, so many places I've had the honor to serve together with you. Look, by the way, I have to say for the record, there is no better breakfast event in New York City each year than the Kojo Flatbush breakfast. The single most crowded event in New York City every year. The bottom line here is the city of New York can do a lot more to help. When it comes to priority 5 and 7 vouchers, this is something I've been fighting for years to protect. Many years we will protect them. Speaker Quinn, we have a disagreement on this because of Mayor Bloomberg, I think, breaking his promise to the community. Those vouchers were lost at a certain point, and the community was suffered for it. It's the kind of thing that we need to fix and bring back. I am absolutely committed to restoring fully the priority 5 and 7 vouchers. That's one way of helping the community. We need to stretch in every way we can as resources become available with the transportation funding, special education, security, everything we can do to help yeshivas and families that send their kids to yeshivas. I agree with Speaker Quinn. I'm not going to be in favor of vouchers or tax credits, but there's a lot of other things we could do. And finally, let's stop burdening the yeshivas with all sorts of extra costs that didn't used to exist. The sanitation fees that used to be covered, now the city's trying to put on yeshivas, the fire inspection fees. These things add up. And we need to start relieving that pressure. I'm very committed to making it easier for the yeshivas to navigate government, not to keep putting all of these charges on institutions that are doing so much good for our community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Look, the math is 20% of the kids, 1% of the funding, because that's the way you wanted it. You wanted not to get public funding and have the control that comes with public funding, and that's the way it should be. You don't want the Board of Ed poking around our yeshivas. On the other hand, though, there are a lot of expenses that are purely secular in nature that for years and years and years we would talk about, and we finally started to get it done. You know, we had this debate about church-state in Congress after September 11th. The police department would come to our neighborhood yeshivot, they would say, oh, you should make all these changes to make it more safe. But unlike a business that can go to their shareholders or an institution like this that can go to the taxpayers, where is the yeshiva supposed to go to get those security enhancements? And there's nothing about those security enhancements that were anyway religious in nature. So I helped pass something called Nonprofit Homeland Security Grants. Over 65 schools in this community now have security enhancements because of that program. We broke through the talk and we got something done. And the same is true for book money. For years and years and years, the city would send a few shekels of book money to the yeshivas. Well, today's generation, computers, which are just machines, those computers can observe the same function. A local yeshiva should be eligible for those as well. Here's the bottom line. If I become mayor, with your help, if I become mayor, I'm going to say, you're not going to have to explain to City Hall what yeshiva is, what their challenges are, the role they play. And I'll tell you what I mean. I would understand intuitively that if every yeshiva closed their doors tomorrow for a week or a month and sent all their kids to the public schools, we would be drowning in expenses. You don't do that. You try to educate our kids, you create a foundation for our community, you do it better than anyone else. I understand that now. I understand it when I represent this community in the council, I understood that when I represent this community in Congress, and I'll understand it if I get to represent this community as mayor.
Mr. Thompson, please, hold the roll call, Mr. Thompson.
First, let me say, what a pleasure it is to be here this evening with so many friends, with so many people I've had the chance to work with over the years, and I don't think you and I disagree, so I don't think I'm on that list that you were.
You forgot, I didn't.
And it's good to see you also. First, when it comes to the issue, and I think that can the city of New York do more? Absolutely. Absolutely we can do more. The first, and let me go back to 2009 when we were discussing priority 7 vouchers. The mayor had promised, if I remember correctly, that was in the election in 2009 where I ran against him. He promised to keep things going for 6 months, and he said then, don't trust him. Don't trust him. If he's given the opportunity, don't let him do a 6-month extension. Make him at least extend things for a year. We all know what happened. 6-month extension turned into just that. After the election, the mayor broke his commitment and broke his word. And priority 7 vouchers went the same way the priority 5 vouchers went. Out the door. That is wrong. We need to bring that back. We need to restore those. That gave so many parents a great opportunity. Second, what else can we do? Special needs children right now. And that is an area where the city continues to make so many parents jump through hoops time and time and time again. We need to create the opportunity for parents not to have to beg the city of New York to take care of special needs children. Parents deserve, our children deserve the services that they are entitled to. We should not have to go through that. Third, when I was in the Board of Education as the president, there were things like books and others that were left to our interpretation. I created as liberal, as wide an interpretation as possible because I realized those children in yeshivas aren't your children, those are our children. Those are all our children. And now, as we're in a different phase, where it's not books, it's computers, it's computer programs, it's software, and so many other things, we need to open those doors and create that real opportunity as we did in the past. And last but not least, transportation, security, so many other things. New York City needs to do a better job there in providing that fairness and equity for the children in yeshivas. That's what the city of New York can do, so much more than it is doing now. That's what I want to do as the next mayor of the city of New York.
But the government told you that you have to stop Mississippi Bank. That's ridiculous. This is the beginning to ban Bridge Miller altogether. We have troops marching from San Francisco to California. They don't march here every.
This is a city where a 13-year-old from India knows how to spell tomato. And, although that is a somewhat controversial issue right now, as a lover of matzo balls as much as anybody else, I will be announcing my position on that controversial issue soon. But on the issue of matizas, a long time ago I have already said that we've got to embrace people who observe their religious faith. And for thousands of years, this thing also called bris milah has been practiced and observed and adhered to. And all of a sudden, we have this supposedly beneficent, munificent billionaire mayor who seems to know more than anybody else what the right thing to do is, even after thousands of years of this procedure being followed. I say, let's leave it to the rabbis.
Okay.
First question, who's your political hero?
Fjcc.
John Luke, who's your hero?
I was named after JFK. And if you don't believe me, ask your brothers Robert.
Hero locally, FDR nationally.
Anthony?
FDR.
Bill?
My father.
I will say Moses.
Second question, we're going to start with people slow down. Do you support government funding of general studies such as math and history taught in yeshivas? Yes, no. You support government funding for the teaching of math and history in yeshivas?
Of course.
Bill, yes or no?
No.
No.
Are you saying for the secular portion of the school day?
Math, correct.
Government funding for the secular
I
portion?
may ask how many matzo balls, but yes. Yes. Good.
I think we can fund services like transportation, nursing.
No.
Okay. Next question. We'll start with Mr. Liu. As mayor, what is the single most important job you will have to fill? Name the job.
I think we have to create jobs for everybody in the city of New York.
No, the most important job, you're going to hire. What's the most important job you got to fill?
School's chancellor has to be an educator.
Mr. de Blasio.
Most important job, schools chancellor.
Anthony?
Police commissioner.
Bill?
School's chancellor.
Police commissioner.
And?
School's chancellor.
Okay. Confession time. About 10 years ago, every politician was asked the important question, did they not smoke marijuana? Now it's 2013, new regime. Here's the confession question right now. Have you ever purchased a cup of soda more than 16 ounces? And no matter what the field score does, will you continue to drink 16-ounce cup of soda? Yes or no?
I'm a Diet Coke person always, so not a big sugared one since I was a kid.
John, 16 ounces, what do you say?
Absolutely. I gotta get the big dose of Mountain Dew or root beer.
Law of public disobedience, what are we saying here?
I'm ashamed to admit that I have drunk soda before.
And you inhaled it?
I did inhale it too.
Anthony?
Yes. I forgot the question. Yes.
I don't drink soda necessarily, but everybody should be able to drink a soda of over 16 ounces.
I have 6 children. When I go to the restaurant, it's not the food what kills me, it's the drink. My big soda and water.
Okay. Mr. de Blasio, if elected, how many times will you be back in this community in the first 3 years of mayor? Numerical answer, please.
A numerical answer.
How many times will you be back in the first 3 years? Not the election year, first 3 years.
I have been in this community constantly since I was elected to city council.
Next, John Lewis, we're not gonna answer. Come on.
3 years?
3 years. How many
100
times?
times.
Trying to through somewhere else.
100
John Lewis, you set the bar high.
It would be a lot, I would say dozens of times. I mean, just during Passover, to go to all the matzah bakeries. I mean,
How often is it?
A lot.
A lot. Anthony?
You're gonna get sick of me before I get sick of coming.
Okay. Bill?
I think that Malcolm Holine and Haskell would make sure I'm back often, so I would be all.
How often is it?
Every Shabbat, every Sunday, because my church is only a couple blocks away, and I'm gonna continue being pastor. I'm preaching on the weekend, being there during the rest of the week. Leave you alone.
We're starting with, next question, we're going to start with Mr. Weiner. Can you name a single person from the Bloomberg administration that you will ask to continue on in your administration? Single person.
There are a lot of very good commissioners,
I just want one.
Say again?
Just one.
I would ask the mayor to stay on. I think he's a talented guy.
Bill?
I think it's important to bring your own team to the table. So I'm going to bring my own team to the table as the next mayor.
Mr. Salgado?
I have a very concern to not go to the New York for the 70 or the 80, so I'm gonna put priority on law enforcement. Now we stop on trees necessary, but yes, I will consider Ray County if he's interested to be commissioner. And once again,
Mr. Blasio?
Rudy Giuliani.
Mr. Blasio? One person, anybody can hire.
First blush, I think Catherine Oliver, the head of the Office of Film and TV, because they brought a lot of jobs back to the city.
Mr. Liu?
I hope they gotta keep any of the commissioners, but I'm sure there's plenty of good skills and talent in the ranks of the different agencies who can step up. We need a change.
Chris?
Ray Kelly.
Two more questions. We'll start this with Chris. Who is the mayor or governor you hope most to emulate?
Fiorello Lombardi.
Mr. Liu?
Mayor Dinkins.
Mr. de Blasio?
I agree with Warren.
Anthony?
Ed Koch.
Bill?
I've always talked about doing a combination between a few mayors, so there isn't just one.
Mr. Salgado?
Giuliani.
And the last question, Mr. Blasio. Last question, give us the, let's speed round question. Give us the one word that describes the quality of yours that should make people want to vote for you. Give us a word. Describe the quality.
I hope I'm a mensch.
John?
I'm dedicated.
Chris?
Tough.
Mr. Salgado?
I don't have a mic.
That's it.
Warrior. I'm a warrior.
Bill Thompson?
Integrity.
Shy.
Okay, were you impressed by the turnout tonight?
Absolutely, this was an incredible forum. You know, I've now been to 40 or 50 forums. This one had, I felt, incredible energy to it. People cared deeply about the issues. They came out in numbers to show that they care. I thought questions were very, very important, very pertinent questions. I think obviously did a great job moderating. So this is a forum that I think I'd like to see more of a community expressing its needs and demanding accountability from leaders. I think this was a great success.
I actually feel very gratified. First off, that they all wanted to come, that they all did come. I think that they recognize that it just has its needs. Even though we do a lot for ourselves, it has its needs, just like any other community. Our concerns are not just local issues about our own Canadian community, our own Flatbush community, but also about the larger community in general. And taxes, water and sewer, how we're affected by that, the violations, the fines, the small business. We're a community made up of a lot of small businesses, and we get affected more so than other communities.
Now, did you feel at any time there was too much, we need to do this, we need need to do this, instead of saying how they are going to fix the
I
problem?
think anybody that thinks there are simple answers, like we're going to pass, and everyone who came out against vouchers, very nice, all stood up there and said we're in favor of vouchers. That would be really patronizing.
So from a moderator's standpoint, how do you feel it went?
I think it was great. We had a wonderful engaged audience. We had lots of community members who came and participated in the process, loads who emailed and sent questions beforehand. It was a full turnout of candidates. It's really a sign of how seriously they take the community, the maturity of the community in a political sense, and overall it was an evening that sent a wonderful message from the candidates to the community, and at the same time an equally good message back from the community to the candidates, so it was a win all around. The message here tonight was you can disagree, but you can't disrespect. We all believe that, and the candidates believe it, the community believes it, the organizers believe it, and that's the way we all acted. That's the main purpose of the evening, was really to give the community an unfiltered view of the candidates. Not something that you just see a couple of words in a newspaper article, a little soundbite, but to see them in the entirety, how they deal with a question, even if they don't answer the question, that speaks as well, that tells you something. So for everybody to have an hour and a half unfiltered, where you see them to different range of questions and a range of issues, different types of questions, it really gives everybody the opportunity to come to their own decision about who they best believe can represent our interests.
Now, did you feel the candidates answered the questions, or there was too much we need to do this, we need to do that, without saying how they're going to do it?
I think it was par for the course. Sometimes they answered directly, sometimes they didn't. And some of the questions, were structured in a way to make it harder for them to evade. But these are, a bunch of career elected officials, and so they're well versed in the art of evading or avoiding a question if they want to.
Do you think it changes the dynamic? It seems, maybe you know better history, that this is the first time that they have to face directly the Orthodox community within the city and answer specifically a question that concerned the Orthodox community. Does that change the dynamic of the...
It's a good thing. It's a good thing, and I want to say that having somebody who disagrees with you come is a good thing. It's a sign of maturity and a sign of respect. Having them tell you directly something that you might not want to hear is a good thing, and it's a sign of respect. When they take you seriously and they know they're going to have to deal with you on an ongoing basis, you'll get an honest answer, even if it's not the precise answer you want to hear. So when I hear something that's not 100% the way we might script the answer, I say that means our community has matured. We've gotten to the point where they know they can't get away with just mouthing words. Years ago, very famously, a politician came and said, he's going to make the kitchen in, I forgot which, the White House, the kosher kitchen. And it wasn't. That's not a sign of respect. That's a sign, right? That's condescension, because it's not going to happen. A sign of respect is we'll talk about the issues, and if we disagree, I'm going to tell you that we disagree and why. And so, in that regard, I was very happy with the way it went tonight. As I said, there was an enormous outpouring of emails in advance from the community, suggesting questions, raising issues, surfacing concerns, and what we tried to do tonight was have those reflected in the questions and the conversation.